Hi, thank you so much for stopping by. This is Amy from With Love by Amy, and we're going to make an Infinity Shaker card. This card was created for the YouTube Hop Team Tiny September 2022 YouTube Hop, and the theme for it was color palette. I didn't have all the colors of the papers that they suggested. I got as close as I could with the papers that I had. So here I am cutting strips. Whenever there's like 5 colors, this is my go-to, is a strips background. I'm not sure why. I guess I just don't know how to incorporate that many colors. Using the stick it adhesive, as I'm doing right here, is a very nice and easy way to adhere the strips and not have to put glue all over all the strips and stuff. And I also like it because when you stick the strips onto the background, you don't have to deal with, oh, did I put the glue too far and accidentally glue your background to your work surface or whatever when you're doing this. So there I am using my bone folder to burnish it down so that the adhesive sticks well to my card panel. And I'm starting with the strips. I decided to start with the purplish pinkish one and then go purple. I don't know, that's just the color order that made sense to me. And then the orangish one, and I'm butting them up as closely as possible to each other, just to make sure there's no gaps in between them. And there I am deciding which green should I start with next. Because when I do this, I want to make sure that they, are in a good color order, in my opinion. And that color point order is going to be repeated throughout the whole card. And here I am, like, one of the strips wasn't long enough, so I'm cutting a scrap off of one of the other ends so that I can piece it in there. My widths were not exactly perfect, so I had to trim a little off the width of one of them. And this, for some reason, is very satisfying to me. Like, looking at it from the back, right before I trim off all the excess pieces there, that is very satisfying. I love seeing that. Once I cut it roughly with the scissors, I'm going to go ahead and stick it in my little guillotine paper trimmer to make sure it's all even. And I feel like, it puts a little more pressure on there, so it's going to help the adhesive stick even better with the guillotine trimmer, more than the scissors. I don't know if that really works, but it feels like it does to me. Trimming it all up. And some of the scraps that were larger I did keep. The tiny ones, I threw them in the trash because ain't nobody got time for that. All right, and I'm putting anti-static powder bag thing on the front of it because we're using glitter. We're not using sequins. And so I want to make sure that this isn't going to, the glitter's not going to stick to the acetate that I put on the front. And there I'm putting my adhesive strips. I think that stuff is called, I don't know what that's called. Never mind. I don't know what that tape is called, but it's good. Oh, score tape. There we go. My score tape. Sorry, guys. I'm getting tired tonight. I'm putting the score tape on all 4 sides of the back of the card. However, I'm not going to release the other side of the adhesive yet because we have to get the acetate or plastic, whatever we use. I did, in the beginning of the video, you saw that I had like kind of like a weird iridescent kind of a acetate. They were treat bags left over from a birthday party, and I thought I was going to use them. However, with the dark colors on the cardstock, when I see, there you go, I'm like cutting it out to fit over the card, and then I don't like the way it looks, so I went and I got page protectors. They're just cheap old page protectors that I've had in my stash of office supplies for a long time. And I'm folding it over. And I did actually make one tiny little mistake here. I was trimming the corners, as you can see there, and I cut too close to the edge of the cardstock. So when I was shaking the glitter after I started doing this, some of the glitter was able to seep its way out the corner there. But being the crafty person I am, I had a hack idea for fixing it, and it worked. I stuck the tiny little nozzle of my fine tip glue thing in there, and I just put a tiny little dab of glue where the hole was, and it sealed it up. And when it dried, the glitter didn't come out the corner anymore. So, crafty win for me. But make sure when you seal up the back that you have tape everywhere, and also try not to make the same mistake that I did and cut your acetate too close to the corners there. But also make sure, don't do all 4 sides until you get your glitter or whatever you're putting in there. into the card. And I'm doing these 3 sides, and I'm making sure that I am burnishing the adhesive down, the score tape, so it'll stay, because nobody wants a shaker card full of glitter to open up on them. All right, and there I am getting ready. And I should have put anti-static powder on the inside of the page protector first, but I did not. And there I am putting the glitter in. It sticks a little bit, but it's not too bad. All right, so I'm going to use this Mama Elephant stamp set, or die set actually, and get the happy word. And I think I layered up about 3 of them, and I glued them all together. And then once they're all glued together, I'm going to set them on the Make Art station and magnet them down so they can dry together securely. And for some reason, it's taking me a really long time to glue this one. I guess it does take a really long time in reality. All right, and then I glue it to the front of the card and magnet that in place so it stays. And here we are digging through my sentiment strips bucket. We're on the hunt for a single birthday word sentiment strip that I can trim down to be itty bitty. And after moments of digging, yay, I find the perfect one. I wanted to have a flag ending, so here I take my trusty punch and I'm trimming the end down. And then after this, I decide I want to mat this with the same iridescent type of metallic cardstock. It's like a light pearl iridescent cardstock. You can kind of see the difference between the white cardstock and the iridescent one there. So I layered them up, made them both have flag ends or banner ends, whatever you want to call them. And I glued that down, and I used my T-ruler to make sure it was straight. Use a magnet on the Make Art station there. And here's the card base that I chose. I decided to incorporate one of the colors that I had on the color palette for the card base. And it was kind of a floppy card base. It was like a very lightweight cardstock. So I actually put a piece of white cardstock inside the card to make it be a little bit stronger. I don't know that I put that part in the video, but yes, if you have a weak card base, you can always add a white panel inside to help strengthen it a little bit. It usually does the trick. When you glue an infinity shaker panel to your card base, you always want to make sure you use lots of glue. I could have used more score tape. Not really sure why I didn't, because I usually do. But I did use a lot of adhesive on there to make sure that it sticks. This card panel is heavier than an average card panel, so I just wanted to make sure it stuck well. And I also decided I wanted to decorate the envelope, so I'm using this Belated set from Ink Road Stamps. And I am also going to use this Dare to be Artsy set and use some of the balloons. They're the perfect size to decorate the back flap of the envelope. I've been really on a kick of decorating envelopes lately. I did emboss this, so I did hit it with the anti-static powder bag first before I put the embossing ink on it. And here's my shaker card in action. I think it turned out beautifully. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Here's some more videos you may enjoy, and don't forget to check out all the other stops along the hop. The details are in the link below. Have a great day. Thank you.